Hello and welcome into NFL Total Access. I'm Omar Reese, Hall of Famer Terrell Davis, as well as former #1 overall pick David Carr, here to talk about this year's #1 pick Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones, what their recent signings means for their current teams, and the rest of the first-round quarterbacks who remain unsigned. But we start with a future Hall of Fame quarterback who's still very much under contract. Aaron Rodgers' busy offseason continues. He announced his engagement. He hosted Jeopardy, had a great time vacationing in Hawaii with Miles Teller, and now he's playing in the charity golf event The Match alongside Tom Brady, Phil Mickelson, and Bryson DeChambeau. Where he hasn't been is in Green Bay for Packers OTAs and minicamp. We welcome in the aforementioned TD, David Carr, as well as Tom Pelissero. And Tom, we'll start with you. We still don't know what Aaron Rodgers' plans are 3 weeks from now when training camp opens. But as we get closer, and there's still no public declaration on what his plans are, it feels like his return is imminent. Do you agree with that?
Well, Omar, Aaron Rodgers was very quick to say in response to Tom Brady that he hasn't said that he's unhappy with his boss. Rodgers has, of course, repeatedly declined opportunities to dismiss what has been widely reported about his relationship with the Packers, and this week even said sometimes there's a lot of wisdom in silence. Aaron Rodgers learned a lot from watching Brett Favre back in 2008. Different situations, because in that case, Green Bay was done with Favre. In this case, it's Rodgers who wants out. But Favre said a lot to Greta Van Susteren, to whatever reporter was posted up on his lawn at any given time. For the Packers, they've offered Aaron Rodgers a new contract. They've been open to doing whatever it takes to get Rodgers back into the fold as painlessly as possible. They don't have to trade him, and they have told other teams that they will not trade him. No options is a little strong, though, from Tom Brady, because Rodgers' leverage here really hasn't changed. He can not show up, and he can make the Packers be nervous every morning about what storyline they're going to wake up to. So it's really a matter of still, how far does Rodgers want to take this, regardless of any fines, regardless of them going after bonus money? Is he willing to push this thing to the limit? Because remember, the other thing Favre did back in 2008 was fly in on the night of the Packers' family night scrimmage, go into Lambeau Field and watch it from a suite within about 72 hours. Favre was a New York Jet.
Yeah, Tom, to your point, I just sit here and I've been listening to this all offseason, and I think about the reigning NFL MVP. And has this ever happened in the history of the league? It has not happened in the history of the league. It's happened twice. Norm Van Brocklin and Jim Brown both won an NFL MVP, were not with their teams the following year. It's because they retired. So for me, you're taking crazy pills if you trade Aaron Rodgers. Like, it is just out of the question if you're Green Bay, unless you want to be the guy, the GM or the head coach that traded Aaron Rodgers away from Green Bay. So for me, it just doesn't make any sense. I understand he has leverage. He wants out. Everybody sees what Tom Brady has done, right? A quarterback at the end of his career moves into a perfect scenario in Tampa Bay where Bruce Arians basically gives him the keys to the castle, lets him do whatever he wants. It's public knowledge that this is Tom's team. And guys like Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, they all see that and they want to move into greener pastures and to be able to do things like that. I just don't think it's a possible scenario that could play out unless, like you said, Aaron could just say, I'm done playing football. And then now the ball's in the Green Bay Packers court.
Exactly, David. And so that's one option that no one is saying. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is in a position right now that he doesn't need football. So if he doesn't get what he wants, why can't he just say, you know what, I'm just going to retire. I'm not going to play football anymore. So that's an option for Aaron Rodgers to say that he's going to retire. The second option is he can go check in and do what some players do a hold-in. Go to camp, sit there, get a back spasm, get a hamstring, get some soft tissue, and just sit in the locker and just create problems for the Packers. So to me, Aaron Rodgers strikes me as a guy that he seems to dig in. And when he digs in, I don't think anything is going to move him. Last I checked, he made a comment about it's about people. And last I checked, the same people that he was sort of insinuating, they're still in the building. So I don't know if they can fix this. I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers does not show up to training camp and force a trade, or just says, you know what, I won't show up and I'll retire and let the Packers deal with Jordan Love and see if they can go forward with that.
Well, speaking of Jordan Love, Tom, how has he been working out this offseason? We heard him say during minicamp that he's preparing, whether Aaron Rodgers is there or not, as if he is going to play. How's it been working out for him this summer?
Omar, like he has throughout the offseason, Jordan Love continues to work. He's actually been throwing 3 days a week out in California at a high school with his private quarterbacks coach, Steve Calhoun. Steve sent me some of these videos you're watching right now. Love's throwing to Keenan Allen from the Chargers, Tyrell Williams from the Lions, continuing to study his playbook. He's in the weight room. These are important few weeks here. He heads back to Green Bay in about 2.5 weeks. Not clear whether or not he'll be number 2 or number 1 on the depth chart, but certainly he's continuing to prepare as if he's going to have an opportunity this fall in Green Bay.
Yeah, kudos to Keenan Allen and Tyrell Williams, the receivers he's been working out with, running routes that the Packers tend to run. So that way, Jordan Love can continue to work. Jordan Love, the 26th overall pick last year, leads us to the 15th overall selection this year. Mac Jones, who has officially signed his rookie contract. Our Mike Garafolo reporting the deal is for a little more than $15.5 million, fully guaranteed over 4 years. There's, of course, the 5th-year option and a signing bonus, almost $9 million. That signing on the heels of Trevor Lawrence signing yesterday, the number 1 overall pick, retweeting this Jags tweet by saying, "Gonna give Duval everything I got. Couldn't be more proud to represent Jacksonville. Let's go." David, as a former number 1 overall pick, you know that kind of pressure and expectation on Lawrence's shoulders right now, but what has been taken off of these quarterbacks' shoulders so far by signing this far ahead of training camp?
Quite a lot, Omar. I mean, I can remember my rookie year and the offseason in that rookie year, and just so much was on my plate. It's a new franchise, a new team, get the contract done, get in a new city, try to acclimate yourself to veteran players, you know, and just learn a system. And all you want to do is play football. And so at this point, now for Trevor, at least now where we sit in July, the contract is done. He's now in a little bit of a downtime where he can probably get guys together, kind of away from the stadium and do their own type of workouts. And now he just gets to play ball. He gets to do what he's been doing his entire life, throw the football around, get better at your craft, master this offense. But it's a huge weight that's taken off your shoulders because your mom's going to call and ask about your contract. Your wife, everyone that you know is going to say, when's it going to be done? And now you don't have to worry about that. You can just go to camp and play football.
Yeah, David, and as a teammate, if I'm his teammate, I'm really happy that he's got that contract out the way. So now he doesn't have to ask questions about that or answer questions about that. And his teammates don't have to answer questions about his contract. And all he has to focus on the draft, coming into camp, you know, proving himself to his teammates and his coaches, and just playing football. And that's how you want to leave it if you're any player, especially the number 1 player in the draft.
Yeah, Tom, before yesterday, 4 first-round quarterbacks had yet to sign their rookie contracts. Now there's just 2, Zach Wilson and Trey Lance. What does this mean for the Jets and 49ers going forward?
Well, Omar, what you have to understand is the money is slotted in terms of the actual total value of the contract, in terms of the signing bonus. What's being negotiated in these deals are payment structure. When do you get your signing bonus? Trevor Lawrence will get it within 15 days. It's things like offset language if you get cut, default language if you end up on the non-football injury list. They seem like small things, but they're important in establishing precedent. In terms of the impact of Trevor Lawrence signing with the Jaguars on the other teams, you have to remember each of those teams has their own contract precedent. So whether you're Zach Wilson with the Jets or you're Trey Lance with the 49ers, you've got different issues. It's their agent's job to get the best deal and the most out of those teams that are possible. Holdouts are pretty rare under this collective bargaining agreement because of those slotted contracts, but Joey Bosa, Roquan Smith, there are examples where guys end up missing weeks of camp. We still have a few weeks here for the Jets and 49ers to get those deals done.
Yeah, I remember Joey Bosa holding out, wanting that signing bonus now versus waiting till next March. Looks like Trevor Lawrence got exactly that. As you reported yesterday, Tom, he's going to get that signing bonus within 15 days. All right, thank you all very much. And we want to hear from you at home. Rookie quarterbacks, the inspiration for today's poll question, who'd you rather have on your fantasy team, Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson? This isn't about stature, this is about stats. Whose team, whose scheme is a better fit for fantasy production? Give it some thought and place your vote on Twitter.